Hello, everyone. So many gap ups today. Earnings, I think in the recent days. Yesterday we did a little pullback, especially on IWM. So yesterday, many of the leaders fell more than 5%. So some of them are still well above the non-EMA. Some are pulling back deeper. And on earnings, we're seeing some gap ups, but we're also seeing some gap downs to like net is gapping down 15%. Yesterday, we also got Fastly gapping down, like it's down 40% yesterday. Uh, so although there are some weakness like showing up yesterday, but I believe it's actually a bullish sign. I would anticipate this bull market, or at least this uptrend, would end in a really, maybe a climax run type of a reversal. or at least the whole the general market's sentiments is going to be really bullish. So maybe some kind of euphoria. But there are many stocks like there are some of them are gapping down because of after earnings. So some like AOI yesterday went down for almost 15%. So I took it off because yesterday's is there's an earnings after hours. So I don't have enough profit cushions, so I take it off. But now it's gapping up by 10% today. And I really believe like market right now is really far from being too optimistic. But it's just my opinion, and it could change. It could like vary day by day. But the indices definitely um are extended right now, especially for the Qs. INOD, I know there's a gap up, but it's gapping up for more than 50%. So I think I'm not gonna enter it today. But who knows? I think in this type of market, probably once in a once in a decade market conditions. Anything is possible. I just I really have no idea. Just define and manage your risk. While studying MSTR, I sold it yesterday with Circle because kind of I saw kind of a rejection at the like Bitcoin is 21 EMA on the weekly. Ethereum is kind of losing the weekly 9 EMA yesterday, started to close below the 9 EMA on the daily. Not a fan of it. So and I really prefer a faster push to the upside because now it's also grinding near the previous lower highs, previous low. I would love to see like a faster push, and as I've emphasized before, like kind of like this type of weekly candle. And pushes off the lows quickly. But Ethereum is the definitely the laggard and mm, chopping around the moving averages. Bitcoin is the stronger one, but but I would prefer a really faster push, like a stronger push to the upside. Right now, I'll I will be feeling less confident on holding the cryptos long. So I'm gonna get focused today because last time when I keep talking, I keep missing the opportunities. So today I'm gonna be a little bit more focused on the entries. Not sure we can get one because we're getting a gap up today. Really not a fan of buying right right at the all-time highs when the market is making an all-time highs. Like some stocks are definitely having a good gap up above the resistance, and core VIF is gapping down into the anchor VWAP. I believe that's that's all the trades I'm gonna take today. AMD and Rocket Lab are pushing pushing up after the open, doing really well. MU and SNDK, the two memory names, are still going higher. Really impressive. And I completely missed them. So definitely not a fan of the cryptos pullback today, but they're still holding the non-EMA, so I'm not gonna micromanage them. And selling right here. And Q's is doing an amazing job since the March low, or you get, yeah, March low, up 25% in the month. We could see a reversal soon, but who knows? Maybe we won't see one in the coming days or even weeks. Um, I'm not gonna guess the top here. Yeah, I think guessing the top is it's not useful, and you may even miss the craziest part of the run. But the indices are definitely getting more and more extended. Although the individual names are not quite, except the like the real leaders, MU and SNTK. INOD is up by 90%. Really fantastic. Maybe this bull run could last much longer than we thought, and a lot of people could still um, sitting at the sidelines and think that this is too extended, and it would definitely get a pullback. It would definitely come down very soon, but who knows? Rotalab is just pushed out from this previous swing highs here, and now it's attacking the all-time highs. I don't know. I don't think we are in the late stage of a bull market if we see a breakout of this kind of a base. Unless we are seeing a fade or a reversal back to the under the low of this candle. So we'll see. Yeah, maybe MUN SNDK could be the turning point or like the tell signs of the potential reversal, potential top of this run, at least a short-term top. If we get another maybe 2 or even 3 gap ups in the coming days, I could try that. That would be the time that I would become a bit cautious. So I really want like MUS and SNDK to slow down a bit. I don't want the things to get too hyped and get put up really quickly. come back in 1999 is doing a 3000% move. Like for, yeah, I think for around 12 months, January 1999 to January 2000. And it's doing a similar thing to most of the leaders we are seeing today, holding the 50 EMA, holding the weekly 9 EMA, not having a deep enough pullback or a long enough pullback, just grinding higher, and then here it looks is the top, like a huge volume, and three the second gap up, two gap ups, and acceleration after the kind of in the end of the move, but it just pulls back to the 9 EMA and formed a like a high tide flag and goes up another 100% from here. Not sure how MU or SNDK would do in this market, but sometimes we need some imagination. And definitely don't get bearish too early, and maybe you can get bearish but don't short too early. Greeting from Romania. Hi Adrian, thanks for the kind words. Thank you. Fly. Ooh. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Today could be an entry. Like a gap up above the 9 EMA on the 60-minute chart. Could be could be a buy today. Holding above the previous swing highs, 50 EMA. Now it's too late for a tight stop, I think. But yeah, if I've spotted this one, yeah, but it is a little bit choppy. But yeah, I think this gap up on the 60-minute 9 EMA is a really great spot to limit your risk. Yeah, like really nice, and this kind of actions like is really like the green flags from the market. Opening below the EMAs and now is passing through them very cleanly. What is my stream schedule? It's kind of random. Like want to be in a good condition. At least I want to feel good when I stream. So it's kind of random. Yeah, and I really love Tesla, man. I think this one I kind of nailed the entry. I kind of follow my plan perfectly. I think the entry was really nice and bought it at the right time. Hopefully this one could be a multi-week move. I'm really fortunate market really did give an opportunity for a pullback. How did I come up with the Tesla idea or trading plan? You can go back and watch my the stream on Tuesday. I think I mentioned it in the middle of the stream and at the end. I think at the end of the stream I specifically highlighted it. So I think that would be better. Then I repeat my thought process again, and it sounds a little bit trading in hindsight. So I think that recording would be the better one. The Tuesday stream, I think near the end of the stream. I just checked with the recording. I think I mentioned it in the beginning of the stream. I think starting at around 4 minutes. Yeah, should be that one at the beginning. So quantums are finding support at the 9 EMA so far. It looks really great. And the crypto names too. Maybe I'm wrong. I think like many of the times I'm wrong. So they could be setting up. They could be setting up. But Circle is getting earnings on Monday, so maybe we'll see a gap up on Circle. Could be an EP for Monday. So AOI is pulling back again. Probably gonna stop me out. Bitcoin has been finding support. Yeah, I know. Maybe I just got shaken out. And with seeing some altcoin is breaking out from the lows. But at the beginning, when I start looking at the cryptos long, I I I kind of preferred a quicker push to the upside, because on the weekly they're still like the moving average is trending down. So I kind of set uh like a requirement or prerequisites for the loans that I want the cryptos to to have a quick push to the upside. And but I didn't get one. But if they start setting up and breaking out again, then I definitely could re-enter them. And now they're looking pretty nice. Pretty nice. OMBS forming a tight range above 9 EMA. Mm, not sure about this one. Especially I don't like Rambus is a little bit choppy to trade. The previous reactions are not deadly near to the EMAs. Right now, I'm sure it is above the anchor period from the highs, and it's above all the EMAs, and now it's this like doing a tiny flag above all the EMAs. So yeah, I would say it's if you can, I think it is good if you're bullish on Rampus and can find an entry with a tight stop. Maybe next Monday, like a breakout or a pull back into the anchor VWAP. Could be. Hey, please stop spamming message in the chat. What's the process to discover Tesla as the new bike candidate? Uh, I believe the weekly plays a huge role here. Because Tesla is going sideways since the late 2021 high. So it is building a almost 5 year long base, 4.5 years long. And on the weekly, keep building higher lows. So we're seeing a huge green candle right here, closing above the 21 and the 9 weekly EMA. This could probably tell this could be a potential higher lows here, and we get a pullback in the coming 2 weeks, and last week we are getting a undercut and rally into the above the 9 EMA on the weekly, but we closed below the 21. So that's the weekly picture. And on the daily charts, after the weekly huge green candle up, we are getting a pullback. So instead of rolling down, we get a undercut and rally on the daily chart and above the EMAs on the daily EMAs on this candle right here. And on the next day, we got a pull back into the rising EMAs, holding up the anchor of VWAP2 and then close above the 50 EMA. So on the daily chart, this could be a potential, the first higher lows. If we break out from this previous high here, so holding above the EMAs is a bullish sign to me, and given that the weekly it is it is like doing a huge VCP, and on a daily it is breaking out from a potential higher lows, and the EMAs are really close to each other. So I really love buying in those spots when the EMAs are really, really close. And it could be the start of a trend. And the weekly EMAs also converging, like the same with the dailies. Like so generally when the EMA is starting to converge, when they are really close to each other, that's highly likely that could be the start of an uptrend or a downtrend. Like a compression and extension. This is expansion, yeah, expansion. Did I get it from Twitter or shown on the screeners? And well, I think I got stopped out from both AOI and CoreWeave. I'm definitely not like I would I would highly recommend to to avoid looking at the social platforms. I stop getting informations online, like from others. Even you are following the great people. Maybe a better way is to revisit revisit the tweets maybe at, at the weekends. So you can go and look back what are the people talking about in the previous week, in the past days, and see whether you are lining up with them or not. Instead of like following them and just get distracted by all the intonations and noises. If I'm in FLNC positions. Oh, okay. I assume your entry is on the EP day. Now it's gapping up. Mm, I think here could be a possible selling point, like selling some into strength, or if you are feeling man like a little bit the general market is a little bit too extended right now. Mm, like it is now coming into the previous gap down, the unfilled gap after earnings. I think it's very reasonable to sell some into strength into this gap and maybe trail the rest with the maybe 60-minute 9 EMA, or the like you if you are a little bit worried about the market extension, maybe you can use the 15 minutes or the 30 minutes, whatever. Because like the daily 9 is definitely well below the current price. Most of your stopped out stocks because of following or FOMOing about a stock someone entered. Yeah, definitely. I've been in that spot, in that condition years ago. And I gradually find out that that's not healthy to my trading. That's not beneficial, and uh, that's why I really love the book, like How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvis. Like I really love Darvis' book, and he's a professional dancer and need to go to they did some global tours to go to different parts of the world. Sometimes he went to some of the um some places that won't have like a really convenient telegraph accessible as like there's no accessible to the telegraphs or the latest market data back in New York. And but he found out that he trades much better than he was staying in New York, because he cannot see the news. He cannot hear the insider tips or like the friends tips, or watching the price all day all the time. I watched the yeah I read the book early, really early, and until I found out I'm getting FOMO because I was getting swamped and overwhelmed by the social media or just the news or the headlines or anything. And I really starting to understand the importance of like staying away from the market, or like don't get don't get too focused on the social media or any stuffs. Are you ever worried some could here to follow my life trade similarly? Um, right now, I'm not quite worried because I think it won't affect my trades that much. But certainly, I definitely do not recommend or encourage anyone to purely copy my trades. Everything is a really unprofitable thing to do. So looks like we're seeing some selling in the first hour of the day. I don't see like a lot of uh really alarming sign right now. So I'm probably gonna still hold my positions and follow my stop. Yeah, maybe I would like raise a stop a little bit higher on QBTS and IONQ. Maybe maybe below this day low. What's my trim or position management strategy? Uh, for all my current positions, I haven't trimmed any, and I prefer trimming less when we are in the early stage of an uptrend, and yeah, but there are definitely some spots that I would love to trim. One is definitely like extension on the daily, but I'm like it's pretty discretionary. I don't use any indicators for that. Mm, yeah, sometimes I'm just going to maybe use a 60-minute chart to see whether the stock is extended, really extended or not. I think for Marvel, if you're buying down here, I think any update above 120 is a great spot to sell some into strength. And there's another spot that I would love to sell some um would probably the gap, the unfilled gaps. So maybe for Tesla, the unfilled gap will be at 470, like right at the previous highest level, and it could be also a resistance level that that I would probably sell some into strength if Tesla could get up to like about 470. But I believe the most important, like the tips on position management um is trusting the trend and not getting shaken out like I do like uh 2 weeks ago. And I believe at the like the beginning of a move, like when you start getting a like the first or the second or the first few positions are working, then you could sell some into strength, like to really get some cushions and like the confidence on the first few winning trades or like the positions that are working really well. But after that, like if your longs are keep working, then I would prefer holding a larger position than try to capture a longer and larger gain. And I think it also really depends on the time frame of the trade. For example, like if you are taking longs on Marvel, like Marvel is breaking out from a long base, and it is just starting the uptrend. Like it is only the week one. So I think holding a larger position is a high EV. It's a high EV option to use, to adopt, to use. But for example, if you are maybe buying Marvel at the flag after already up for 60%, then maybe I would sell more into strength. Like they would have a lower chance for getting another 60 or even 100% move after a 60% move. So it really depends. And also for the shorts, I tend to like close the trades quickly. Like I generally won't hold the shorts for weeks. But like as you can tell, I truly have no like perfect answer for the how to sell or how to or where to sell, when to sell. I really don't have an accurate or standard answer for that. I I would say it would be one of the like hardest question in trading. Like really, really. FIBN. Not sure about that. Not the hottest sector right now. Weekly is at the 50 EMA. Currently finding support at the 9 EMA and above the previous day high. But it's not it. It's not in the hottest sector right now. And I don't know. Little bit too like a small cap. And on a long prolonged downtrend, weekly downtrend. Not sure about this one. What's my maximum position? Most of my positions are around 25% or less than 30%, 25 to 28. Some will be maybe 20, 22 or 23, so it is around 25%. But some positions like Tesla, I think it is slightly above 30, maybe 35%. Am I still using my stop level to? Yes. Why not? Then what's the point of defining the risk and setting your stop? Do I often add to my position? Yeah, not really often. Actually, pretty rare. Rarely I would add. How do I approach sizing after coming freshly out of the losing streak? Um, so at the first few trades, definitely, I'm going to trade smaller. So maybe gonna use it maybe 0.2 or 0.3% risk per trade. Like last year I'm using 0.5% as the risk per trade, and so getting a 26% drawdown in December. So in January I saw risk less and then use maybe 0.3% or even maybe 0.25%, 0.2%, and find the really tight entries. Like just trying to really focus on the best entry as possible and to really build up the kind of confidence first. And then when you start getting maybe 2 to 3 positions working, and generally you will see a broader market participation also. Like normally you won't have 2 to 3 working positions when the market is not doing well. And I mean work it is really like pushing away from your stop quickly. Like it is not hanging around your stops. If I miss the recent bull run, what should I do? Oh, that's but it depends on do whether you have a drawdown or not. Like, are you missing the bull run without a drawdown or with a drawdown? So, um, I think if you are getting a drawdown in this bull run, a better a better way to trade is to like to 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 take some rest, like to really step out from the market for a bit first. Like probably you will get FOMO, or like you starting to maybe revenge trade when you see all the stocks are going up, and some of your trades, the new trades are maybe you get stopped out like I did on maybe AOI or Kobe, and you start to make more and more mistakes. But so yeah, I think waiting for pullback would be better if you have a drawdown. But if you are not having a drawdown, so you maybe slightly up or just flat, I think maybe you can still try to find some opportunities in the market. Maybe like Rocket Lab today is working really well. But you also need to you need to recognize that the market has been up for 25% of the lows, so it's not a great time to really push it hard. So you need to get a balance in between. Are you a short biased player? I mean, I have 7 long position and 0 short position. I think you can easily tell from that. You bought SNTK on 1st of May. Yeah, nice entry. And then you sold it yesterday because it's dropped below the low of 6th of May. So you dropped below the low of the previous day. Okay, so setting a backstop too early. I think that's not you can't tell it's early or not until until the stock has been topped. Like until the top is formed, like you can't really tell where is the real reversal day. So the main point is whether you have set this rule, like a breakdown from the previous day low before it happens. So if you are setting this rule like maybe the day at your entry or even before your entry, then then it's 100% fine. That is like, this is a really nice trade. And but also at the same time, like after the trade, you have executed perfectly. So on execution, you're doing really well. But and after the trade, and maybe one more step could be like whether to refill whether the rules are great. So like can the rules get improved a little bit more? So SNTK is now pushing to the high, so maybe we'll see more upside. And could we possibly set a better rule for SNTK, or like for the future trades, for the upcoming trades? Maybe like you setting the stops below this gap, this unfilled gap, like maybe under this gap, maybe another option. Or maybe just use the 9 EMA. And yeah, and it really depends on what type of traders you are. If you are like a trader with a higher turnover rate, so you capture a shorter move, and then change the boats to change to another boat, switch it to another stock, and then grab another quick move, and and it could be like it could be better to set a tighter stop, a tighter backstop, to prevent a larger drawdown. But you are more capable of holding the winners longer, and try and could hold through a deeper pullback and capture a potential a longer uptrend. Then maybe you can set the stop a little bit wider. I don't do any scan in market hours. So I think that's it for today. Um, Definitely not a fan of this type of extension. Yeah, so I think it's the time of not getting too bullish and not getting too bearish at the same time. We could go like much higher than we thought, like the example shown in QCOM. But at the same time, also we need to also be a little bit aware of the potential extension on some of the leaders or the indices. If we get a several gap ups, maybe another gap ups tomorrow, that could be like maybe I want to size down a little bit, and maybe like a gap up and go up for 2%. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming, and see you in the next one.